ChatGPT 4 questions today around recovery coaching and psychedelic treatment or plant-based medicine. So the first question I asked was, what happened to Bill Wilson at the end of his time of AA with the AA World Service when he wanted to suggest psychedelic treatment? And the reason I ask this is there's a lot of treatment facilities out there that offer 12-step treatment. Okay, so here's what we got back. Bill Wilson, the co-founder of Alcoholics Anonymous AA, became interested in the potential therapeutic use of psychedelics in the 1950s and 1960s, particularly LSD. He believed that these substances might help individuals experience a kind of spiritual awakening that was central to his own recovery from alcoholism. Wilson thought psychedelics could potentially assist some alcoholics in finding the spiritual connection needed to sustain sobriety. However, his views on the subject were not well received by AA as an organization. By this time, AA had grown significantly and was firmly established in its approach to recovery, which emphasized the abstinence, personal accountability, and the 12 steps. Many within AA were concerned that Wilson's interest in psychedelics could undermine the organization's credibility given the stigma and controversy surrounding drugs like LSD. As a result, Wilson's efforts to introduce or to discuss psychedelic treatment within AA were largely rejected. The organization chose not to endorse or explore this avenue, and Wilson ultimately distanced himself from promoting the idea within AA, while he continued to privately believe in the potential of psychedelics. AA remained focused on its established methods for treating alcoholism. Wilson's advocacy for psychedelics never became part of the official AA program, but it remains an interesting chapter in his later life, highlighting his continued search for effective methods to help those suffering from alcoholism. Excuse my stuttering here. Then I asked the question, did Bill Wilson drink again before his death? No. Bill Wilson did not drink again before his death, despite various challenges and health issues later in life, including depression and chronic emphysema from heavy smoking. Wilson maintained his sobriety from alcohol until his passing in 1971. His last drink was in 1934, following his well-known spiritual awakening, which became a cornerstone of Alcoholics Anonymous philosophy. While he explored various therapies and ideas, including his interest in psychedelics, he remained sober from alcohol for the remainder of his life. Okay, so let's dig a little bit deeper here. What medication was he given when he had a spiritual awakening while in treatment? Bill Wilson experienced his spiritual awakening while undergoing treatment for alcoholism at Towns Hospital in New York in December 1934. During his treatment, he was given a medication called belladonna, which was part of a controversial and now outdated purge treatment known as Townes-Lambert treatment. Belladonna is a plant-derived substance that has psychoactive properties and was used in the early 20th century as a sedative or to induce hallucinations. Wilson had a profound spiritual experience while under the influence of this medication, which he later credited as a turning point in his recovery. This experience became central to his personal narrative in the development of Alcoholics Anonymous AA, as it formed the basis for a spiritual aspect of the AA program. Although belladonna treatment has since been discredited, Wilson's spiritual awakening during this period was a key event in shaping 12-step recovery model that emphasizes the importance of a higher power or spiritual transformation in overcoming addiction. So now I've gone a little bit deeper. Okay. Now, Explain the concept of the Wetiko virus. The concept you're referring to is Wetiko, also spelled Wetiko or Wetigo, a term from certain Native American traditions, particularly among Cree and Ojibwe people. Oh gosh, that's so embarrassing. Very politically incorrect there. It describes a spiritual and psychological condition likened to a virus of the mind or the soul. Wetiko is associated with extreme selfishness, greed, and the consumption of others, manifesting in a destructive, predatory behavior that can take over the individuals, societies, and even humanity as a whole. Origins of Wetiko. Traditionally, Wetiko refers to a mythological being or spirit, sometimes called the Wedigo, a cannibalistic monster or evil spirit. In the stories, those who are consumed by greed or who commit acts of cannibalism would become possessed by the Wetiko spirit, turning into destructive, insatiable, I think that means you can never satisfied creatures. This concept has evolved into a metaphor for human behavior, particularly focusing on those consumed by selfish desires, colonialism, or unchecked exploitation. Wetiko as a metaphor for human consciousness. In modern interpretations, Wetiko has been used to describe what some see as psychic or spiritual virus that infects human consciousness, driving individuals or societies towards greed, exploitation, or destruction. One of the key ideas is that the virus is not just individual but systemic, representing how collective human behavior, particularly in capitalist or colonialist society, can be infected with the mindset of endless consumption and disregard for others. Why do I want to do this? So, when families are desperate and they're looking for help in the treatment world, and they'll Google, they will be bombarded with all sorts of offerings. And I'm curious about the ethics and well-being of people that are traumatized and desperate when they go and get treatment. And this is why my role as CSI and CSR executive at MAUNi is important. So that's something that I wanted you to consider. I'm posting this on LinkedIn. Please follow MAUNi. And comment, like, do whatever we're doing on LinkedIn now that we've all gone to video. I don't even know if this video is going to be uploaded because it might be too long. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.